Level 90, Treasured Bonds. Magina seems eager to share something with you. I have wonderful news. Thanks to your tireless deliveries, we are now overwhelmed with orders. Mistress Tataru's plan was a success. That's another shipment sent. I don't think I've ever packed so many parcels in my life. Don't believe we've met before, have we? Oh, hello there, you. My apologies. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Hazdad. Like so many Hanish refugees, I left my home in Palakistan and came to Charlian during the final days. You saved my life more than once. I've been working at Tataru's boutique with Magina and Varsarud, albeit behind the scenes. It's rare that I have occasion to visit the storefront. An unfortunate side effect of the constant demands on all our staff, though I think we would all agree that the hustle and bustle is for the best. Don't you wonder what we'll do once the samples have served their purpose? Our equipment is crafted to last, which is wonderful, of course, but also means that our customers are not like to require replacements for some time. Therefore, if we are not constantly receiving new customers, our good fortune will eventually sour, no? Mistress Tataru isn't so foolish as to have not anticipated such things. I'm sure she's already come up with the new and exciting products to offer our existing clients. Actually, I had an idea of my own for a new product, In fact, I presented it to Mistress Tataru just the other day, a new uniform to outfit the academics and researchers of Charlian. Oh, how enterprising, and what did she say? Well, she seemed hesitant, which I could only interpret as reluctance to hurt my feelings with explicit rejection. But then she told me to look into it further and draft a formal proposal for review. That's wonderful, Magina. When she said to look into it further, did she mean for you to conduct some manner of market survey or of the academics and researchers? Just so, but, well, some are involved in such sensitive work that simply approaching them is out of the question, which is to say my petition to enter Labyrinthos was denied. But I decided to try the studium. A secretarial mammoth was only too happy to schedule a meeting with an academic representative. Now that it's come down to it, I'm feeling ill with nerves. If it were on Mistress Tataru's behalf, it would be different, but this was my initiative, my idea. I'd offer to accompany you, but I have to mind the counter. Perhaps you could offer Magina your support? Oh, thank you. Can I come as well? I'd like to start thinking of what supplies we'll need for our artisans once your plan is approved. Of course, very well then, to the studium we go. The studium. This building might be a temple for how austere it feels. I'm glad I have your company. I was told Ki Aliapo would be meeting us here. I'm sure they will be along shortly. Hello, representatives from Taru's boutique, I presume? Oh, Zilly, what a pleasant surprise, though I suppose your presence should merit no shock at all, given the breadth of your generosity. Ooh. Pleased to make your acquaintance. My name is Magina, and I'm ever so obliged to you for making the time to speak with us. P. Eliapo, at your service, and there's no need to stand on ceremony. I assure you, most of our academics are far more concerned with their research than pleasantries, admittedly to their detriment at times. Anyway, how may I help you this evening? A uniform for our academics and researchers, you say? Myself am ill-equipped to offer an authoritative opinion on the matter, so permit me to arrange some meetings with faculty representatives. Please make yourselves comfortable in the auditorium while I go and summon a few of our more personable personnel. Well, in the Faculty of Archaeology, we spend much of our time traipsing about ancient ruins, which often ends up ruining our clothes, if you'll pardon the pun. An outfit durable enough to handle extended use would be welcome, but it would need be a lightweight and breathable as well. Equatorial deserts can be most taxing, but then again, you'd be surprised just how many relics are hidden at the bottom of lakes, and northern waters can get quite chilly. As it stands, my colleagues and I throw on any old thing for our field work, whatever we have on hand that is suitable for the conditions, with the understanding that it may need to be disposed of afterwards. Funding for research equipment and the like is precious enough as it is, and we can't afford to have dozens of bespoke garments for every situation, which is probably not what you were hoping to hear, I realize. No, thank you for your candor. It's true, new kit can be rather expensive. We must ensure our prices stay affordable. The ideal outfit for astronomers. How in the world am I to answer that? I know less than nothing about fashion. Well, I suppose we astronomers often conduct our celestial observations from locales remote and subsequently chilly, you know, mountaintops and the like, so something warm? If warm is truly their only requirement, then I think it is safe to say this is an opposite of an untapped market niche. The Faculty of Medicine has strict requirements for dress on account of hygiene regulations. Fabrics that are resistant to stains and possess antibacterial properties are a must, for example. Additionally, we students of nutritional sciences must vigorously dart about the kitchen, so dressing for comfort is nearly as essential as cleanliness. And if it were fashionable enough to perhaps inspire others to follow in our footsteps, all the better. We require no such clothing in the Faculty of Anthropology, for we make all that we require right here. Rather, Professor Tankin prefers to do so, that he may better understand how necessity begets innovation. An outfit that ameliorates ether sickness, without a doubt. You think we at the Faculty of Etherology would have developed such an outfit by now? No. But alas, our primary projects demand every moment we possess. We cannot afford to divide our resources. Well, how did it go? I don't know, to be honest. Everyone has such different preferences that I'm not sure it's even possible to satisfy them all. A fair concern, the studium's faculties are filled with opinionated individuals, each with their own peculiarities. Additionally, our academics spend much of their time engaged in fieldwork as opposed to seminars, which further complicates stipulations of dress. In other words, we have our work cut out for us. Academics sound just as unique as adventurers. Indeed, it was naive to assume that one type of uniform could account for all the needs of all academics. We had best return to the boutique. Thank you for your assistance, Mistress Aliepo. I truly thought I had a good idea. No doubt Mistress Tataru knew of its folly, but had me research it regardless, so that I might reach the conclusion on my own. You meant well, I am sure. See how the hardships make you strong. I believe I've heard that expression before, but where? That's an important phrase to you, isn't it? Yeah, back during the MSQ. Indeed, it is. It comes from the teachings bestowed upon us by the old gods. Many Hanish held fast to those words and their wisdom during the final days so as not to give in to despair. When we call upon the divinities, it is not to beg for salvation, but for guidance. So long as we live by their teachings, there is no hardship we cannot overcome. This is a core tenet of Hanish faith that has seen us through much adversity since the founding of our nation. It is as you say, Hasdad. Yet until you did, it did not occur to me to consider how they might apply to my personal struggle. Coming to Charlian and working with Mistress Tataru at the boutique, I've met so many people from all sorts of cultures, but in trying so hard to accommodate their wants and needs, I fear my own heritage has become an afterthought. There's no shame in dedicating yourself to your work, and as we all have our limits, compromise and sacrifice are inevitable. It may surprise you, but once I aspired to become a steward. To look back on it now feels fanciful. Strange that we so easily let our dreams be cast aside by circumstance. I swore nothing would stand between me and my chosen path, and yet here I am. I know the divinities will guide us wheresoever we go, but what if we stray too far? Would I be a fool to suggest that perhaps we should return to Thavnair? But Mistress Tataru has done so much for us. We cannot simply leave the boutique on a moment's notice. Maybe not, but what of our family and friends? It is one thing for us to send money and well wishes, but I wonder if we could not do more if we were there helping to rebuild. We haven't been back to the village since the final days, and if we're already forgetting our old lives, I don't know. I just think Mistress Tataru should know how we all feel, is all. Vossarud says that Mistress Tataru should be stopping by soon. When I asked how she felt about returning to Thavnair, she said she'd need time to consider. For my part, at least, I think consulting with Mistress Tataru will help put my mind at ease. My, what a busy counter we have tonight. Hasdad, it's good to see you out from behind your usual shipping crates. Yes, I thought I'd come and help Megina with her research. We've just returned from interviewing academics at the studium. About that, Mistress Tataru. Suffice it to say, their requirements were all radically different. I know I said a uniform for researchers and academics, but I'm afraid I may have deeply underestimated the feasibility of such a project. And that's perfectly all right. The important thing is to learn from what you could discover so you can retain and apply that knowledge as you continue on your entrepreneurial journey. The right idea for a new product will find us when it's ready. In the meantime, I have more samples in need of delivery, and seeing as Zilly is very conveniently standing within my line of sight. 1,000 pardons, Mistress Tataru, but before you continue, I wish to speak with you about a personal matter. You have shown us incredible charity, which makes this all the more difficult to ask, but I wonder if I should return home to Thavnair. Please do not mistake this as dissatisfaction with our arrangement. If anything, I've grown so accustomed to life in Charlian that I fear I've begun to forget myself, my dreams, my faith, the person I used to be before I came here. Not only that, in spite of my regular remittances, I worry that our village struggles to rebuild after the final days, while I live happily removed from a burden I ought to share more. Feels disingenuous to both my home and the many kindnesses you continue to show us. I see, and do you both feel the same? I've been so devoted to my work that I hadn't given much thought to returning until Hasdad mentioned it, but to claim that I am not worried about the village would be a lie. While I am of similar mind to Magina, I must nevertheless remain here. Among other reasons, there is a project I am resolved to complete. Well, I would be very sorry to see any of you go, but if remaining here causes you grief, I will spare no effort to see you safely home. This is why I have decided that our next set of samples shall be delivered to Palaka's stand. Furthermore, I ask that those who wish to visit accompany Zilly on her errand. Seeing how your village fares is no doubt the best thing for you both right now. It will help you to understand your feelings, after which we may proceed howsoever you desire. And should your colleagues require it, I'm sure you can be relied upon to dispense the perfect advice. Ejina, Hasdad, give everyone my regards. And it's settled, I'll begin preparing the samples at once. Allow me to assist. No matter what happens, we must finish Mistress Tataru's necklace. We ready to proceed with the restoration, do you think? I dare say we have enough additional materials thanks to Zilly's dedication. For the work itself, I thought we could entrust it to the lapidary Mistress Tataru once apprenticed with. Sure, that would mean a lot to Tataru. I was sort of hoping that I could do it. I'm glad you think so as well. Let's leave the necklace in Varsarud's capable hands and join Hasdad in Scholar's Harbor. Maybe we should have done it. They probably just tell you something like you've done enough. I remember when we first set foot upon these docks. After a long, exhausting journey through frozen waste, after surviving those horrid beasts, Mistress Tataru was a warm beacon of light. Working at the boutique has helped us to rebuild our lives, but I will never forget that feeling of powerlessness. Should I have stayed in Palakistan and tried to defend my people? Was I a coward to flee? Is it a betrayal to my home and to myself to remain here? I can't stop thinking in circles. Anyway, I'm glad for this opportunity to better understand where my heart truly lies. And all will be well, I'm sure, but we must be off lest we miss our connecting flight. We're back. We're truly back in Thabnair. Was Ratatan always this grand? I can't believe we lived so close, yet so rarely made the trip. You remember how it was? Village duties always kept us all too busy for travel. Defending pilgrims was trying enough for the stewards even before the final days. I wonder how many temple roads are still traversable. If even those in Rajasthan struggle to travel for worship, our feelings of estrangement may be more common than we think. Since we've come all this way, would you mind terribly if Hasdad and I toured the city on our own? Let's plan to meet in Palakistan anon. Maybe. Home at last. Yes, home. I can finally breathe again. Come, let's go and find the elder. Elder Uravet. Hasdad, Medina, how wonderful it is to see you. I've been so worried. Tell me, how is life in Charlian? Are you being treated well? Oh yes, Elder. Our employer, Mistress Tataru, is the kindest of businesswomen. In fact, she arranged for us to accompany Zilly on our errand here so we might enjoy some time at home. That is very good of her. Indeed, I am relieved to hear you are being looked after. You are ever a guardian to our people. Thank you for seeing these children safely home. Now then, what is this errand you speak of? How splendid. Our steward shall put these to good use, you may be assured. If only we could repay your generosity with something even half as marvelous. Alas, our village is of little extravagance. Everything seems as ever it was. Indeed, with the support of the Radiant Host and the funds you and others have sent, we have regained much of the peace we once knew. Thank the sisters. Still, there was something I wish to speak with you about, Elder. You are worried your heart grows distant from Thavnair, that you have wandered too far from home. My child, it is only right that you should wander, that you should roam. Your heart's connection endures no matter where you go. You yet think of us fondly enough to visit, yes, and send us what gil you can spare, do you not? Gestures, perhaps, but not true commitment. Should I not be here with all of you, working to restore our village? There's no restoring our village, Hasdad. Without those we lost, Palakistan will never be what it was. We must instead do all we can to become a new village with a new future ahead of us, although the particulars of our path are not yet clear to me. How so? Ours has always been a settlement of stewards, as well you know, tasked with the protection and preservation of Thavnair's sacred sites. We have seen our roads shaken and temples defiled by beasts. The material is not always within our ability to protect. What is everlasting is our faith, the bonds between our people and the divine. Though our old teachings, we remind ourselves of life's meaning. Yet if we wish to ensure our traditions endure for generations to come, should we not strive to do more than maintain our temples until pilgrims deign to visit? But I do not wish to tire you with an old man's musings. Surely there are other ways of ensuring our people remain connected to their heritage and faith. All we need is the right idea, something new our village could offer. Well, my words seem to have inspired you, and with the worldly insights you have gained, I am sure any future you envision for Palakistan will be nothing short of remarkable. There is no need to rush. Take some time to speak with the others and make yourselves at home. Level 90, Treasured Bonds, complete. Level 90, more precious than Gil. Hasdad is in deep thought. How foolish I was to think the answer would be so simple. I would come home, roll up my sleeves, and help restore our village to the way it was. I would find fulfillment. Alas, not all that was lost can be reclaimed. Our people face a new struggle, but perhaps by discovering new ways for the village to fulfill its duty, we might yet help our community. Exactly like the elder said, surely our experiences in Charlian have given us a unique perspective. Not to mention Zilly's extensive knowledge of the world, I'm sure that between the three of us, we can come up with a brilliant plan to support Palaka's stand. Yes, yes, you are right, and I'm sure that hearing how everyone fares will give us insights as well. Not a soul here will ever forget the hero of Palakistan. I'm sure everyone will be just as eager to speak with you as us. There are also others with whom I'd like to speak once we've finished here. Of course, we mustn't forget to pay our respects. Asdod and Magina are now accompanying you. Keep them at your side in order to proceed with quest objectives. You can leave your quest companions behind by entering a different area by speaking with them and selecting the option to part ways. If you wish to have your companions join you again, return and speak with them at the original location. Excuse me, I couldn't help but notice that beautiful equipment you delivered to the Elder. As a weaver who crafts armor for our stewards, I would love to hear more about its origins. Created in cooperation with guilds from across the world. Oh, I must have a closer look. Final days exposed the limitation of my skills. Traditional Thavnarian techniques alone did not suffice. I am eager to hone my craft by studying the work of foreign artisans. Although in my weaker moments, I often wonder if purchasing armor for our stewards would be the superior solution. Alas, that would require a surplus of coin as well as available product. As a village sustained by donations and remittances, we would be hard-pressed to afford anything so expensive, even if such suppliers were to venture this deep into the jungle. Find the house. Looked in there, I didn't see anyone. Oh. Couldn't see it because of the wall. Okay. Well, hello there, staying for a while or just passing through? Our recovery has been slow but steady, though I am concerned for those who still struggle with wounds our healers cannot cure. Final days may have passed, but grief and trauma are not so easily overcome, or ever, for those who must accept them as constant companions. Ours is a tightly knit community, but I worry for those in the capital and abroad. I imagine it is difficult for them to honor the old teachings as they labor far from home. So many of us fled during those dark times. If only we could bring the comforts of community to all Hanish. It isn't Hasdad and Magina, accompanied by our savior, no less. Welcome home, welcome home. Phew, we're a bit short-handed these days, but we manage nevertheless. While there's a happiness in being reunited with our young ones, we're just as happy knowing that you are walking your own path, no matter where it leads. I remember Asdod couldn't wait to become a steward when he was little, but as far as I'm concerned, sending aid from afar is just as praiseworthy as tending to the temples here. Times are changing, and who is to say that this cannot be another form of stewardship? A steward who supports the village from afar, I've never even considered the possibility. Seeing everyone so eager to help one another makes me more determined than ever to contribute. But before anything else, shall we go? Let's. It'll be good to visit. Perusa, then. Did we ask you to accompany us? The temple roads are perilous, and your presence would be a great comfort. Ways to go, huh? Can fly. Discuss the Shroud of the Song. When I was little, we used to run through these wilds, playing steward and imagining fierce battles with hideous beasts. Got the scolding of a lifetime when our parents found out. But when it really happened, when the sky turned red and the jungle spewed forth unspeakable horrors, I could do nothing but cower. Perhaps that's why I feel so guilty for not returning, for not doing more, even if it may never be enough. But this time, I will rise to the occasion. I never used to give much thought to those who walked these roads before me. Countless pilgrims who risked their lives for faith, aware of the dangers ahead, they pressed on. So strong was their devotion, so sacred the tradition. "'Tis a perilous path you walk, so it is written, and so too our forebears must have felt when braving these jungles to reach what would become our beloved home." Been a while? Yes, but we made it. I'm home, mother, father. Here at Perusa, we may commune with the spirits of the departed. Neither Magina's nor my parents survived the final days. I told them about how you saved us and that we are doing well. I know they will rest easier for it. May the next time we visit be to deliver glad tidings from Palakistan. Though I was relieved to find the village in a better state than I had feared, it seems there are still issues we might help address. Finding a steady source of income, for instance, so the stewards can be properly outfitted without overwhelming our weaver. I was also troubled to hear about those who continue to struggle without the support of a local community. There must be some way to provide respite. Yes, indeed. The question is what? Do you have any thoughts? Ask yourself, what would Tataru do? Never underestimate the power of a partnership. Expand your horizons. Think big. Mrs. Tataru has always put great store by collaboration and partnerships. So what if Palakistan were to enter into a partnership, perhaps with the boutique itself? I think you're onto something. If the boutique sold wares the village produced, for instance, our people would have a reliable revenue stream. But what can Palakistan offer, and to whom? How about amulets and talismans, or images of the deities? Something simple, created with love for our homeland and our faith, so no one forgets or feels forgotten. I like that. Our temples were created in remembrance of our ancestors and divine teachings, but reminders needn't only take the form of great works. A small keepsake may be just what our scattered brethren need to reassure themselves that they are still members of the community. This could be the answer we were looking for. I can't wait to tell Mistress Tataru. Rather, I can't wait for you to tell Mistress Tataru, Magina. It was your idea, after all. Team effort, let us say. I certainly couldn't have come up with it without you and Zilly. If our proposal is approved, Mistress Tataru will no doubt need assistance in Charlie, and I am ready and willing to provide it. But what of you, Asdod? What will you do? I too will return to the boutique. One day I will come home to stay, but for now I wish to do all in my power to help our village thrive. I am relieved to hear you say so. Let us go and consult with the elder about our plan. I hear you were kind enough to escort these children to Perusa. Again, you have my gratitude. Are your feelings any clearer for it? I think so. Magina and I talked it over, and we believe we have struck upon a new way the village might support our people. Tangible mementos of our faith. An interesting proposition. Many here would be glad to create such reminders. I expect those unable to perform strenuous labor would be especially grateful for an opportunity to contribute to the prosperity of our village, to say nothing of the options these additional funds would provide. Most importantly, we would be able to help those who have chosen to live apart from us feel that much more connected to their community and their faith. I'm proud of both of you both for discovering such an innovative way to do so. It would likely mean Hasdod and I will stay in Charlian for the foreseeable future. And take with you the knowledge that no matter where your journey takes you, our hearts will always be as one. May the sisters guide you. We'll come back again, I promise. Meantime, we shall see our plan to fruition. I will send word once we've determined the particulars. Right then, Charlian awaits. The necklace is back from the lapidary. He had nothing but fond memories of Mistress Tataru and was eager to pour his everything into the restoration. The result is magnificent. The original sapphire extended with black pearl from the ruby sea and rose shell of wurlet and united by a length of maki leather, a singular necklace symbolizing Mistress Tataru's past and present. It would be an honor. I'll do my best. Be an honor. With painstaking effort and unwavering focus, you engrave the symbol of the traders onto Tataru's necklace. Any who behold it will surely know, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that this final flourish was the product of your heroic hand. I'm sure she will adore it. Our work is officially done. I've just received word from Mistress Tataru. She should be arriving in Scholar's Harbor soon. Let's go and meet her there. I wasn't expecting a personal escort from the docks, though I dare say I could grow accustomed to it. How was your time in Palakistan? Did you find it worthwhile? So while they do have an interest in our equipment, matters of recovery are their greater concern at present. Recovery, yes, but also growth, which may lead to a lucrative opportunity for the boutique if you will permit me to suggest another new product. What if we offered handicrafts designed and produced by the people of Palakistan, authentic works representative of Hanish culture? For those of us living abroad, reminders of home would do wonders to ease feelings of estrangement, and for others, such pieces could be appreciated as beautiful works of art. Our village is up to the task. You will not be disappointed. Doubt not their conviction, Mistress Tataru. A product that embodies Thavnair's spiritual beauty to be shared with the whole world? Why, the boutique should offer nothing less. So we've made wonderful progress with our samples. I believe it's time for a change of pace, and handicrafts born from the heartfelt desire to celebrate one's culture is bound to resonate with others. Given her eagerness, I presume Magina tends to stay and help facilitate this new adventure, but what about you, Hasdod? You felt the call to return to Thavnair rather more strongly, as I recall. Yes, well, after talking with everyone at home, I realized that living apart from them does not mean I must forsake my childhood dreams of service. I believe I can best serve my people by staying in Charlian and continuing to work at the boutique, if you'll have me. With pleasure, Hasdod. Mistress Tataru, if it would not be untoward, we would like to present you with a small token of our appreciation for everything you've done for us. Not untoward at all. Rest assured that I graciously accept all offerings of praise and adoration, especially ones as fine as this. But how queer! This sapphire looks remarkably like the one my... Silly, is this my mother's sapphire? Hers now, so now rightfully yours. I hope we haven't overstepped our bounds. Look, I put the symbol of Nalthal on the back. It's hers, it's really hers. Never in my life did I imagine I'd see this jewel again. It was part of a family heirloom. When my mother was married, she received it from her mother. How her eyes sparkled when she spoke of one day giving it to me, I'll never forget. But when Father's business failed, we lost everything, and that was the last I saw of it. Though your heirloom did not survive in its entirety, Master Pippin managed to recover the sapphire. From there, we collected parts from clients during sample deliveries and commissioned the necklace you now hold. Now that I think of it, Zilly often did receive mysterious gifts on those visits, so that's what it was about. Time after time, I am reminded that the fortune in coin promises only a fraction of what wealth of friendship provides. My family lost its last skill, I became Lapidary's apprentice, and that's how I met a certain miner named Minfilia. We hit it off instantly, chatting every time she brought in gems for appraisal, and then one day she came not with her usual haul, but with an invitation to join the Path of the 12. The rest, as they say, is history. One serendipitous meeting that led to so many others, that led to so many incredible adventures. I saw a poor little girl reunited with a priceless memento. For teachings say there is more ugliness than beauty in this world. To live is to suffer. We never need suffer alone, and what is more beautiful than the bonds we share with others? Indeed, it is these connections that give meaning to our lives. Connections for which I too am grateful, and thus compelled to advise that we return to the Agora. The counter remains unmanned, and we mustn't neglect our clients. Quite right, quite right. Back to work with the lot of us. We've got new products to plan. Silly, on behalf of the entire boutique, allow me to thank you for all you have done. I'm ashamed to admit that in our excitement to prepare Mistress Tataru's surprise, Varsarud and I failed to prepare something for you. And that sounds like a cue from Mistress Tataru. Mwahahaha. Very soon, Zilly here will no doubt embark upon another journey to the corners of the world unknown, as she is wont to do. So to wish you well in making new friends and to remind you of those who will always hold you in their hearts, I have prepared bespoke chocobo barding, crafted with love by one Tataru. I dare say the boutique will be embarking upon its own adventure in the coming days, and with the true adventure invariably comes tribulation. But with your compassion, resourcefulness, and reliability, I have every confidence that we shall succeed in our respective endeavors. Ever higher returns of both coin and camaraderie. Oh, and don't think just because you're running off to the other side of the world that I don't intend to solicit your future involvement. You won't escape me that easily. Level 90, more precious than Gil. Complete. Big dreams, found fortune. Achievement unlocked.